This episode of the Ritzy Travel Guide, we bring you to Malta, quite possibly the Mediterranean's most dazzling little capital. It's an absolute stunner, day or night. The streets are impossibly pretty, bursting with lively cafes, and a harbour that consistently ranks in the world's top 10. It's got history, it's got atmosphere, and an amazing local cuisine that will really surprise you. If you haven't been, you absolutely must, and we'll show you why. Welcome back to the Ritzy Travel Guide. My name is Bill, and it's great to have you with us. This episode, we're in Malta, a destination that's small in size, but absolutely huge in character. It's one of our all-time favourite destinations. In fact, so much so, on a most recent trip, we almost bought a property there. I kid you not. We're going to take you through some of the island's most dazzling sights. From its picture-perfect capital city, Valletta, we'll also wander along the streets of the ancient Mdina. It's a stunner, and a fun fact for you, if you're a fan of that epic TV programme, Game of Thrones, well, Malta was used as a filming location. Some of the most dramatic moments were filmed right here in Valletta and Mdina. And later in the video, we'll be stopping by a few of those iconic locations as we explore. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most compact capital cities in Europe. We'll take you to the hotspots of Sliema, which is a trendy and fashionable part of the island. We'll also dive into the atmosphere, literally, as we go scuba diving, to the beautiful outer towns and the dramatic islands. So let's begin our journey in Valletta, the capital city. Valletta may be only just over 1 mile long, but it's like a pretty postcard. And the streets are lined with lively cafes and little restaurants where you can sip an espresso or tuck into fresh food while watching the world go by. Every corner rewards you with something new. Few cities pack so much beauty into such a small space. A lot of Valletta dates back to the 16th century and the times of the Knights of St. John. These streets really are so picturesque. Very, very pretty, these alleyways. There's any number of these cutesy little streets that run through Valletta. All outdoorsy. It's a very much outdoor lifestyle there. Because you have 300 days of sun, you pretty much guarantee that just about any day you're here, it's going to be sunny. Now, another tip for you, there are these €5 city tours that go round on these electric buggies. And they just go round and round and round. The city stops. And you can just sit on there, what, practically free. Well, €5 isn't very much, is it? I really am enjoying walking around Valletta. It's one of the safest capitals, not just in Europe, but in the world. Now a tip here for you. Valletta is compact enough to do your own touring. Unless you really specifically want to, you don't need to book an organised tour just to see Valletta. You can do that yourself. In a moment, we'll show you the beautiful cathedral and we try some street food. But first to the Grand Harbour, because it is the crown jewel of Malta. It's a vast natural area that's witnessed centuries of history and remains one of the most breathtaking harbours we've seen anywhere in the world. And twice a day, the gardens come alive with the thunder of cannon fire at noon and 4 p.m.
We're ready to have our ears blasted off. How loud is a cannon when you're at point-blank range? Let's find out. That's what we're going to see. The firing cannon. Over here, down we go. Let's get our gun tickets, gunpowder, and action.
The cannon firing takes place in central Valletta, very high up with a fantastic view of the harbour. Are you all ready for the noonday gun?
Look at the view.
It's fantastic, isn't it? You ready to have your ears blasted off?
Yes, I am right.
It's a vast natural area that's witnessed centuries of history and remains one of the most breathtaking harbours we've seen anywhere in the world. We're standing up here in the upper Barrakka Gardens, where you get the best vantage point. And you can see here too, where the cruise ships tie up. It's very close to the centre of town.
Now, if you get here at 11:30, half an hour before they fire, you get an instruction, you get a demo.
Now, we paid for tickets to get closer to the action, right by the cannons themselves. Tickets for this saluting battery demonstration cost €3 for adults and €1 for children. It starts half an hour before the firing, and you get an interesting demonstration on the historic equipment, types of ammunition, and talks on how the cannons work.
If that hit you at top speed, you'd know it.
Once that demonstration's over, then get yourself into position, either at midday or 4 p.m, sharp for the cannons to go off. And you stand plenty close enough, I can tell you, because when it's time, it is loud. Loud, isn't it? It's history that you don't just see, you literally feel it. Okay, sprinkled throughout this review, we'll show you some of the food that's famous in Malta and we feel you should try. If you're looking for coffee and cafe culture, there was one we tried that was really very unusual.
Oh, what have you found?
Coffee decadence. Everything to do with pistachios.
Look at that.
Just look at that cream oozing down the pistachio hot chocolate.
Okay, dear viewer, what should we order? Which one should we have?
Malta is famous for pistachio nuts, so pair that with coffee and you have a rather unexpected match made in heaven. A totally decadent, sweet and very Moorish treat.
There we are. The iced latte. How does that look? It's almost got a decoration along the top, hasn't it?
Looks fantastic.
It does look fantastic, doesn't it? You didn't order that one, did you?
It's a work of art.
Incoming hot chocolate. What have you ordered there?
A cappuccino with pistachio.
Like crumbs of cappuccino. Are you going to stir those in?
Let's take that together.
Oh, okay.
Very good. Yeah.
She's suggesting we add extra cream, just to build up the calorie count. Look at that chocolate. Chocolatey, almondy goodness. In case you want to know where we are, we're at the De Bono Coffee House.
And once you've started down that slippery slope to tempting treats, you might as well go the whole hog and try the local foods as well. So we started with Pastizzi. These are flaky pastries filled with ricotta or mushy peas. They're golden, crisp and utterly addictive.
Well, dear viewer, if you could have smell-o-vision, you'll be able to smell the aroma coming off here. It's a pastizzi. Look at that crunchy. Let me hit it crunch. We've been walking around all morning, absolutely starving. This is typically Maltese. It's Malta on a plate for you.
Perfect for a quick snack whilst wandering the streets.
Crunchy.
You should also try some fatira, a flat, savoury pastry that looks like an open sandwich traditionally made for festivals or village festas. It's delicious, and you could also try asata, a traditional Maltese savoury, open-topped with ingredients such as cheese, peas, spinach, or even anchovies. Right, let's just show you a couple of the other top sites in Valletta till we go further around the island. First up, a must-see is the cathedral. Now, I don't always wax lyrical about cathedrals in our travel vlogs, but this one you should see. Step inside and you'll find one of Europe's most dazzling treasures, built by the Knights of St. John in the 1500s.
Look at that. It's absolutely astonishing. Totally jumps out at you.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is truly the most beautiful cathedral I've ever seen. It's even more beautiful than the Vatican.
Every single section of every single corner is ornately decorated.
It's intricate, it's detailed. There's not a square inch that is not decorated. The colours of the Lombard. The most stunning, intricate and beautiful cathedral I've ever seen.
St John's Co-Cathedral in Valletta is open to visitors Monday to Saturday between 9 a.m. and 4:45 p.m. And the cost for adults, €15. Children under 12 go free. I tell you what, rarely do you find cathedrals around the world which are this stunning, this beautiful. I do urge you to go and see the cathedral. By the way, Ritzy Travel Guide is on Instagram and Facebook. If you enjoy following us around in real time, in between filming for YouTube, you can follow us on both of these. You'll see what we get up to, the countries we visit, and behind the scenes. The channel name is the same as here, Ritzy Travel Guide. There is the link up at the top, and I'll also put the address in the description box for this video. So follow along with us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you in those. Coming up in just a moment, we take you to the legendary town of Mdina. It's gorgeous. We take a vintage bus around the island. We also go deep sea diving and see the beautiful outer islands. Time for dinner, and there's a restaurant I really want to show you, although you could also go there at lunch as well, and it's quite famous in Malta. It's called Kris. It's renowned for its Maltese home cooking and is housed in a former bakery.
I'll tell you what, it's one of Malta's most famous restaurants called Kris, and you can understand why.
I think you could order practically anything on the menu.
It's not often you go into any restaurant around the world and you think, I will have the whole lot, but I could with this. Got lots of props and little bits to look at. And the menu is just superb. So, we're all going for some traditional Maltese cuisine. Oh, we've got the traditional Maltese platter. It's a little bit of everything from the menu. And for my main course, we have the famous braciole, the slow braised beef. Been braising for hours and hours and hours and hours with potatoes and carrots. What have we got here?
You can't come to Malta and not have octopus.
You absolutely must have octopus.
There's something magical about truly authentic cuisine, cooked the traditional way as it has been over centuries.
Delicious.
It's so anxious. I think they put an entire bottle of wine.
The flavours are so intense, it's so rich.
Is that deep?
Is it really rich and
I can
intense?
taste the vineyard.
Can you? The Maltese vineyards. Because actually, there's a rack of Maltese wine right there, and one of the most famous is the 1919.
You want to go for Maltese wine? Try this. Very good local red wine.
It's delicious.
We really do recommend Kris, and it's famous for a reason. Now, this one isn't actually in Valletta, it's in the suburb called Sliema. We haven't mentioned Sliema yet, but we're about to, because apart from Valletta, it's one of the other 3 destinations in Malta we'd recommend you see. Why do we recommend Sliema? Well, because it's got a really buzzy atmosphere. Some of the best waterfront cafes, bars and nightlife. Whereas Valletta, the capital, is perfect for history, its noonday guns and the starting point for cruises, Sliema is the vibrant beating heart. It's also got some of the best coastal walkways. How would you get there from Valletta? Well, either by bus or boat. We really liked the water option, and the ferry is cheap and runs night and day. The waterfront in Sliema is teeming with restaurants.
The lovely atmosphere in Malta in the evening comes alive. The promenades are bustling. So much to see. Look, there's like communal dancing going on here.
Every time we walk, we discover a new street.
We do. It's endless, delightful, cute little streets. Some of them on steps, some of them in these really historic limestone and sandstone buildings. There's the bay down there.
A couple of evenings we booked a table with a fabulous sunset position. Being Malta, seafood is front and centre. And my wife ordered an appetizer, and you wouldn't believe the portion that arrived.
Look at that portion. That is a bumper portion. What's on there?
Everything. Every form of crustacean.
Was this billed as a starter and appetizer?
This is a starter portion.
This is why you didn't go main course then, really, isn't it?
$14.95. So
Amazing, isn't it? €14.95.
Incidentally, the local beer is called Chisk. Do try it when you're there. So having now shown you Valletta and Sliema, let's take you around some of the other spots in Malta we'd recommend. Starting off with Mdina, it's their way of saying Mdina that you hear around the world, and it's an absolute beauty. Mdina is about 30 minutes from either Valletta or Sliema. You can start from either. And if you're on a cruise ship, there are direct links taking you to Mdina, and later on I'll tell you how to get there. For us though, we tried something a little bit different. There is a vintage bus that takes you there. That's a lot of fun.
This morning, what are we doing? Well, we're taking a vintage bus. We're going to Mdina, and what they offer are these cutesy, bright-coloured 1950s style buses to get you there. You get there a variety of ways, but this one seems to be the most fun. Here it comes, look at that! It's going to be rather fun, isn't it? Toot toot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I'm coming. Okay.
It's the kind that used to rattle around Malta for decades.
It's rather fun. Are we liking the transport?
1970s.
I tell you what, get your cameras to the ready for the rest of the day. It costs about €6 at the time of recording this and takes you on a scenic trip to Mdina around the bays of Malta, including Spinola and Valletta, which are very scenic. And get yourself a good window seat and breathe it all in. Fantastic vistas all the way around.
It looks like you're sitting at a picnic table. It's got that vibe to it.
"20 minutes later, and you're at the foot of Mdina, and you can see it hoving into view. It's quite the sight. Here we go, outside the walled city of Mdina. It's got quite an imposing feel to it. Centuries of fortification. It was once the capital of Malta, and at various times it's been ruled over by Phoenicians, Romans, Arabs, and the Knights of St. John. Hundreds of years of history. Stepping through the gates of Mdina, it feels like you're walking straight onto a medieval film set. Narrow cobblestone streets, winding between palaces, and there are no cars. Instead, delightful horse-drawn carriages.
Everywhere you go, you will see references to Game of Thrones, because various of the scenes were filmed right here. Oh, what's going on here?
You can actually put your head in the middle.
Can I pelt you with cabbages and fruit in the stocks? I've suddenly gone back 500 years. You can pelt some rotten fruit at me if you like.
You can be dead, keep your head down. Yeah.
Is that looking bad enough? You can hear the horses coming. You can hear the tinkle, tinkle, tinkle.
Inside the walled city, you'll find charming cafes tucked into courtyards and lots of cutesy little shops. Everywhere around Mdina is packed with atmosphere. Its history stretches back more than 4,000 years, and legend says that the Apostle Paul lived here after being shipwrecked on Malta. Walking the streets today, you see a blend of different ages. There's some medieval and there's some Baroque architecture. And because it's all pedestrianised, the tranquility is only broken by your footsteps, and those of the horse-drawn carriage. It's one of these places you don't really need a plan, just arrive and wander. And if you have a strong stomach, you can visit the dungeon.
Let's head off into a dungeon. I feel like one of those.
It's not expensive, and it accurately portrays Maltese history down the centuries. Now, if you're a bit squeamish, turn away for the next few seconds, because there's a series of underground chambers and passageways that once served as a prison and a place of punishment. Today, it's set up as a museum attraction with life-size wax figures that portray torture scenes from the Middle Age onwards. There's also recreations of the fearsome instruments of torture and the cells where captives were kept. It is meant to be atmospheric, and it is a little bit eerie and gives visitors a sense of the brutality that once lurked back in all of our history.
Heads on spikes. They're the masks of ridicule.
Eavesdroppers for the big ears.
Enough of the dungeons, it was time for a drink and some lunch. You've got a few choices. One of the more popular spots is Fontanella Tea Garden. You see this on all the social media posts. So if you come here, expect a queue. If you don't get one, you're lucky. And it's perched up on the city walls. It's famous for its huge cakes and panoramic views. Somewhere for those who have a sweet tooth. The other alternative is to try one of the courtyard restaurants.
Olive trees, courtyard, cooling drinks in the offing. Let's go and take a look. Looks very medieval inside. Full of promise, isn't it? Look at this. Oh. I feel like I'm back from a crusade or a war or a battle. I should have a crest of arms on my shoulder. I should have a crest of arms on me. Like a medieval banqueting hall. Who needs to go to a theme park? Who needs to go to Disney to have a recreation there when you can have the real thing here? This is how it would have been several hundred years ago. That could be me, Bill de Lorraine. Yes, I quite see myself in one of those get-ups.
No trip to Malta would be complete without trying its own national drink, Kinnie.
Cheers. Well, what do we have here? It's a Kinnie, which is a very Maltese drink. In fact, I'm not sure I've seen it outside of Malta. What it is, it's made from wormwood and bitter orange peel. Now, does that sound like a match made in heaven? Wormwood is one of the extracts they use in absinthe. Now, it's very divisive. People say you either love or absolutely hate Kinnie. There is no middle ground. It smells of wormwood. Forgot to mention there's actually quite a lot of rum in it as well. It's the Kinnie Rumba. Rum and Coke flavour. I tell you what, that bitter orange peel cuts right through. And then that rum, it's a very, what does it say? Spiced rum and Kinnie. That's a real sailor's drink, that. You can imagine the pirates when they came invading Malta with one of those. It's a good thing to have on a winter's night. Cheers.
By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please do give it a thumbs up, give it a like, as it lets us know we're on the right track, and we'll try to put out more of this type of material. Now, there are various tours that will take you to Mdina, and later on I'll give you the links for those that we think we would recommend to you. Still to come, I'll go through the best time of year to visit Malta and get the most out of it. And I also have some special information for those arriving in Valletta by cruise ship. I'll go through logistics, where you arrive, how to get in, and how to fit everything into one day. But before we do that, I want to take you to Gozo Island. It's right in the north of Malta. As its name suggests, it's a totally different island, and it's connected by a ferry. It's Malta's smaller, greener sister island. Now, there are various tours that take you to Gozo, including people who come on a cruise ship. There is time to get there because there's a high-speed boat and catamaran that takes you very close from the cruise to Gozo. It has both history and adventure. Let's look at adventure first, because we swapped the narrow cobbled streets for the ocean. Fantastic scuba diving in some of the clearest waters in the Mediterranean. You can expect crystal clear waters with visibility that stretch over 30 meters down. We do enjoy our scuba diving wherever we are around the world, and we were particularly looking forward to this one. Here we go. We were at depths between 18 to 30 meters, that's up to 100 feet, with good visibility. There's plenty to see here as you weave through caves and arches and reefs, and even hidden wrecks. A lot of divers choose to come here to Malta because there's a labyrinth of underwater tunnels and caverns. Some are hidden like secret passageways. As you glide through these caves, the sunlight streams through natural openings. We took 2 dives that day, and I'll give you the links to those later. The best time to dive in Malta is between May and October, when the Mediterranean waters are generally warm, clear, and reasonably calm. Apart from diving, Gozo is actually a nice day out. The capital is called Victoria, also known locally as Rabat, and at the summit stands the Citadel. That's a fortified medieval city that's watched over Gozo for centuries. And there's a maze of walls and narrow cobble streets and quaint squares and tiny little artisan shops.
Lovely vibe here. That's why I sometimes just wander down these narrow little alleyways and see where they lead you to. It's a beautiful little piazza. It's a combination of Italy, maybe a bit of Spain, and of course Malta. It's a real melting pot. I tell you what, I've just had a thought, a brainwave. Perhaps the most charming, the most cute area is right here in the centre. So rather than taking a whole day seeing the whole of Gozo, you might just want to take a little side trip, an individual trip, a personal trip, or one that just takes you to the capital. Sit down here, have a coffee, have a meal, maybe have a lunch, have a drink, see the cutesy shops, because this is the gem of Gozo Island.
Victoria is a mix of history, culture and everyday Maltese life. Still on Gozo, another beauty is Xlendi Bay. It's one of the picturesque coastal gems. It's nestled between steep cliffs and looks down on colourful fishing boats and promenade full of cafes and seafood restaurants. The water here is crystal clear, perfect for swimming, snorkeling or just dipping your toes in. And at sunset the cliffs glow golden, making it a favourite spot for photographers and romantics alike. We had a fun afternoon hiking around here. The cliffs offer scenic walking trails.
This delightful little, what do you call it, a boardwalk when it's stone? This delightful pathway down the side of the bay.
It's a stunning coastline. In a moment we're going to run through recommendations for tours to consider in Malta. We'll also go through 2 indulgences you should be tempted by. Think decadent chocolate, lots of it, and desserts. Also, we'll talk about the climate and best time of year to visit. Okay, now here's some information for those of you arriving by cruise ship. Loads of cruise lines now come to Malta almost year-round. You'll have a huge amount of choice. Cruise lines dock at the Grand Harbour in Valletta, which is very close to downtown, making it easy to get in. You can walk from the port to the base of Valletta. I say the base because Valletta is up high. It's perched on top of a cliff. The cruise ships obviously are at sea level, they're down below. So how do you get from sea level to Valletta? Well, there's a handy lift. It's called the Barrakka Lift, which connects the cruise terminal to the city. And it's cheap, it only costs you €1, and the ticket allows for a return journey both up and down again at the end of the day.
Okay, who's up for a challenge?
When you're on holiday and you don't always have access to a gym, you've just got to sneak it in. So today, there's an option of taking the lift up or doing 324 steps, and that's 648 steps return. So the way to sneak it in is to take the staircase.
Now, anybody with any common sense would take the lift over there. It's only precisely €1, but there is actually, for hardcore sports fans, the stairs. So I'm taking the lift. Guess who is taking the staircase? Wish you luck. Yes, very best of luck. See you at the top.
That lift then takes you to the upper Barrakka Gardens, which is a great place to start your wandering around Valletta. It's also where the noonday and 4 p.m. gun goes off, so the lift brings you directly there within 20 paces. Couldn't be easier. The capital itself is very walkable. Once you're up top, it's level and straightforward to get around. If you're just going to walk around the town, you don't need to buy a ship's tour. You can self-guide. There's plenty to entertain yourself in Valletta for quite a few hours. There's a brilliant place to try chocolate, which I'll tell you about in a moment, and so many places to have lunch. If you want to go back to the ship during the day, count on it taking you about 15 to 20 minutes round trip from the town centre. Locals are bilingual, in fact trilingual, and speak Maltese, English and Italian, so all your bases are covered. Malta was a British colony for a long time, so they're very used to speaking it. In many cruise ratings, Valletta frequently gets mentioned as a favourite because of its low crime and having attractions that are perfect for one day. Now, if you're on a cruise and want to see anything outside Valletta, there are various tours, and shortly I'll go through what you might want to consider. Right, let's now go through some of our top tips of where to eat and the cuisine to try while you're in Malta, because you really must try some local specialities. If you've got a sweet tooth, you could try Maltese cannoli. These are inspired by Sicilian cannolis.
Now, you see, the problem with walking around Malta is there's just these tempting little corner stores at every turn. Do we need an emergency cake? An emergency pastry? See, look at those snacks. Those are Imarat. They are date rolls with lemon and cinnamon. The smell is fantastic, wafting up. Oh, there's lemon curd. Oh, look at that. Yummy.
Oh my goodness.
Let's
It's
have a
very
look.
crumbly.
Look at that.
Maltese cannoli are a must-try and often include fillings such as nuts, could be pistachio, and candied fruit. Right, who's up for chocolate? Maltese style? Well, I did promise you.
Oh, what have you found? This gets my approval. Chocolate. Oh, now this is full of promise.
Chocolate drinks on tap.
On tap? Really? On tap? Hasten yourself immediately. Let's rush down those steps. It's beckoning us. It's saying, come to me, come hither. Look at that. Look.
No chocolate on taps.
Yeah, look. Can you see at the back? Pure chocolate on tap. What's going on here? 0 calories.
Well,
Look at that. 2 cups of deliciousness.
this honestly is liquid chocolate in an espresso cup.
It is, look at that. So we've got 2 different varieties. My very alcoholic rum one and your one with the chocolate itself.
Chocolate decadence.
You know, that's like a rum bubba. When we were in Bruges last Christmas, very cold, we went into the Cafe de Paris and they served us a rum bubba. This is very, very similar. Fantastic, really, really chocolatey. 70% chocolate, so it's meant to be chocolatey, and a healthy dose of rum.
You've got the best of both worlds in an espresso cup. You know how the best thing in the cake is the ganache? Without the cake, well, this is it. Just the ganache, no cake. Liquid gold.
It was indeed liquid gold, and just to be absolutely sure we liked it, we had to go back again 2 days later. Yum.
And this is where we were, Chocolate District, just down these steps.
Okay, so when's the best time of the year to visit Malta from a climate and weather point of view? Malta is blessed with a sunny southern Mediterranean climate, which means sunshine most of the year. In fact, one of its claims to fame is that Malta enjoys over 300 days of sunshine per year, besting just about everyone else in Europe. But experiences can vary depending when you visit throughout the year, because there are some good and some less good times to come. The summer months from June to September offer long sunny days, but it's also the busiest time and can get absolutely the most packed. And summer can get very hot, 35 centigrade to 40 centigrade some days. That's up to 100 Fahrenheit. So just be aware if you come in July and August, hot, hot, hot. For those who prefer a slightly cooler and quieter experience, our top tip is to come in spring, which means April to May, and autumn, which is late September and October. The weather is warm and pleasant, there are fewer crowds, making it perfect for sightseeing. And walking through Valletta's streets or exploring Gozo or Mdina will be far more relaxed at those times. And what if you want to come in winter? That's normally November through to March. It is the quietest time on the island, but also the coolest, and rain is a little bit more likely. If I were you and you had the complete flexibility to pick anywhere on your calendar, I would choose May and also late September through to the end of October. Now, here are the various tours that we mentioned earlier, if you're interested in going to them. First of all, let's talk about Mdina. There are several to Mdina from both Valletta and Sliema. If you're on a cruise, you could take a tour from there, but they tend to be double the price. If you book independently, there are many to choose from. And I'll leave you the following links in the description. You could also go round in an Asian-style tuk-tuk. That might be fun. And if you want to go on the exact same vintage bus we went on, this is the tour we chose. Price varies per season between €6 to €8. Now if you want to go to Gozo, there are several tours that go from either the cruise terminal or the centre of Valletta or Sliema, Also popular are jeep safaris round Gozo. We didn't do one this year, but we did on previous occasions. Concerning scuba diving and snorkeling, if you don't have a dive license but you just want to relax on a boat, do some swimming and snorkeling, then the Blue Lagoon on Gozo Island is really popular. It has sparkling blue seas, the water is gorgeous. Here are some links for that. They're all an excellent day out. Scuba diving, for those who are certified, is crystal clear waters and some really diverse dive sites you can visit. You go anything from 12 meters and down. They also offer nitrox, and wreck diving is available. If you're looking for a visit to a top Maltese fishing town with an excellent seafood lunch, I can really recommend Marsha. Difficult to pronounce that one, it's a bit of a mouthful. It's a beautiful town right down in the south. It's famous for delightful seafood cafes lining the bay. And we had a fabulous meal down there with some spectacular looking fish.
It's like a dragon. It's got wings almost, isn't it?
And finished the meal off with some local Maltese wine. Some of the tours also take you round to the Blue Grotto, which is a fun spot that's nearby. Malta is really blessed with so much to see. It's 100% a must visit. We don't always say that, but we really mean it here. No matter whether you're coming for a week or by a cruise ship. Now, talking about cruises, because I know a lot of our viewers on this channel come from a cruise perspective, we have a lot, in fact a huge amount of new videos hitting our channel over coming months. Because we're going to be embarking on 5 very different cruise lines and cruises. We'll be trying out ultra luxury cruising with Crystal. They're one of the most highly rated cruise lines in the business. It will be fascinating to go with them. We'll also be on, amongst others, Princess Cruise Lines, Oceania, MSC. Yes, we said we wouldn't go back on there, but we're trying it again. Everyone deserves another chance. And then we have a festive cruise, something a little bit special. Those who are looking for a cruise that can see the Christmas period and the New Year. And I'll tell you about that a little bit later in the year. So lots coming up on our channel over coming months, and looking even further ahead into 2026. We have 3 long-haul trips already in the planning. We'll be heading out to some really exotic locations, firstly in Asia. Think mystical and enchanting. That trip should be quite special. We've also got some expedition trips on the planning board. That should be of interest for those looking to go to some remote parts of the world for a real once-in-a-lifetime bucket list experience. Do remember to stay subscribed to our channel so you know when each new video arrives. Subscription is free, it just keeps you updated on our progress. Likewise, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook for real-time pictures and videos taken during our travels. While waiting for those new videos to drop, we have several existing ones you can see here, and indeed here. Thank you so much for joining us on the Ritzy Travel Guide. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us, and we'll see you in one of these videos now.